AOC's recent town hall meeting was an unmitigated disaster, and there's three reasons why this matters.
And amen. And boom, shakalaka. Can you give the Lord some praise in here today?
AOC has been the darling of the Democrat Party as a new progressive. She got voted in. She answered a casting call. She did very well. She ran for office and she won. Hey, you know what? That's how the game is played. For the first few years, she had a huge following on social media. She was down on the border. She was accusing President Trump of caging children. It was all very successful. All of the staged photo ops to show her pain and consternation at the Trump administration. Well, it worked. The problem for AOC is that Joe Biden was installed in 2020. Now, they're not on the defense anymore. They're on the offense. And the problem is Democrats don't know how to lead. AOC has been at the forefront of some of the most controversial programs that the left has put out, from defunding the police, from defunding ICE. She painted herself as a very popular progressive. She was the leader of the new socialist movement in the Democrat Party, but something happened. She's been in Washington, D.C. too long. And the recent votes that she took to support the war effort in Ukraine, to support the warmongering of President Biden, well, it came back to bite her right in the assets. At this town hall meeting, there were a couple of things that really stood out that I want you to see. First of all, the room was more than half empty. Maybe a third of the seats were filled. I'm being generous. It seems to me she's lost her appeal. But most importantly, the people who stood up to heckle her, they were on point. I've been asking for better part of a year, where are the protesters? Where is Code Pink? Where are the Democrats that are against war? Well, they showed up at AOC's town hall meeting, and they were not to be deterred.
Congresswoman, none of this matters unless there's a nuclear war, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, she's left the Democratic Party because there are a bunch of war hawks. Okay? You originally voted, you ran as an outsider, yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a thermonuclear war with Russia and China. Why are you playing with the lives of American citizens? You're playing with our lives.
There will be no neighbors if there's a nuclear bomb.
That's one of my favorite lines. There will be no neighbors if there's nuclear bombs. But here's the thing you need to understand. If this were a year or two ago, that room would have been filled. And those hecklers would have been shouted down by the rest of the audience. They would have started chanting, AOC, AOC, and would have shut them down. Obviously, because of Joe Biden's policies, because of the missteps of the Democrats over the last year and a half, AOC has lost a lot of her appeal. She's lost a lot of her juice. Therefore, these protesters had free reign, and they were calling her out on her support for this war. Last weekend, you had President Biden talking about Armageddon. He was talking about how we were just a few steps away from nuclear Armageddon. And a lot of people heard that, and a lot of people, took it to heart. This younger generation that's not used to hyperinflation, that's not used to being in a war in which nukes can be thrown, they took it to heart, and now they are speaking out. And it is an incredible thing to see. These men who stood up and started taking her on, they caught her off guard. She was not expecting this, and they landed blows to AOC's image and to AOC's progressive agenda.
Voted to mobilize and send money to Ukrainian Nazis. You're a coward. You're a progressive socialist. Where are you against the war mobilization? He's telling the right truth. You have done nothing. Tulsi Gabbard has shown guts where you've shown cowardice. I believed in you, and you became the very thing you sought to fight against. That's what you've become. You are the establishment, and you are the reason why everybody will end up in a nuclear war unless you choose to stand up right now and denounce the Democratic Party. Will you do that?
Well, will she do it? Will she do it? This is a bold calling out here. And you can see from AOC's facial expressions when the camera focuses on her, she was not ready for this. She has no answer for this, which leads to the second thing that I think I really want to point out from this whole thing. I'm seeing that the protesters were not only dead right to call her out, but her progressive credentials, her progressive bona fides just got squandered. This video has gone viral, supernova. This one video right here has almost 6 million views as of tonight, and I'm sure there's others out there that are gaining even more attention. This totally exposes AOC for the fraud that she is. She has betrayed her base, and I'm sorry, when you betray your base, you just don't get that back. You don't get it back. Listen to these men. Look at their passion. They are absolutely destroyed. They believed in her. I think at one point they say, we believed in you, and you now have sold out.
Yes or no? Okay, simple. Are you going to stop nuclear war? Yes or no? There is no line, because this is bullshit. None of this matters if we're all dead. None of it. You know that. Then let's take it up right now, because this is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters right now. We could be in a nuclear war at any minute, and you continue to fund it. That's what's going on.
You know, it's really amazing, because it comes down to that. We could be in a nuclear war right now, and you continue to fund it. It's not just AOC that continues to fund it. This is a uniparty project. You've got AOC out there. You've got Chuck Schumer out there. You've got Lindsey Graham out there. You've got what's the other Republican? Mitt Romney out there. You've got bipartisanship on this effort to fund this proxy war against Russia. And you have key Democrats and key Republicans that can stop this. But because the Democrats run the Senate, because the Democrats run the House, it's ultimately on them. They can stop it. A few votes here, a few votes there. Where is the opposition vote to nuclear war? And this is what these people are protesting. They're telling her, you could stop this. You could be the one lone voice out there. You maybe can't stop it if you're just the one lone voice, but at least you're representing your constituents who do not want this. This is an amazing moment. Nobody in America voted for a proxy war. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why President Trump was elected is because he said no more stupid foreign wars, and he meant it. For 4 years, we were not involved in any stupid foreign wars. For 4 years, we didn't have Vladimir Putin making any kind of noise about moving on Ukraine. He put North Korea in check. We were dealing with China economically. Now he's gone, and look at the hell that's going on. We've got missiles being blown across Japan from North Korea. We've got conflict in Europe on the verge of World War III. Nobody, no Democrat voted for this. No Republican certainly voted for this. And yet this is where we are. And finally, we get our cold pink moment. Finally, we get the new generation of Cindy Sheehans who are calling out the very people that are funding this madness.
Why not right now?
Rude?
You're the liar here. Nobody has held you accountable. That's what's happening. And it is time for you to stand up and realize that what you've been saying has been lies. Let your conscience come through for once.
Does AOC have a conscience? I guess that's the question that we have to ask. Where is she on this? She was completely caught off guard. Well, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't see this coming. This wasn't choreographed. She was supposed to just come down there and give Democrats a reason to vote in the midterm, and you saw that the room was more than half empty. That's embarrassing in and of itself. Then she got ambushed by these gentlemen who were talking about the war effort. And here's the big fat takeaway. Because AOC was voting for this, because she voted for the proxy war in Ukraine, because it's against everything that she has run for. She's been known to criticize other people for their votes. Now she's getting criticized for her vote, and she's completely unprepared. You know why? Because she's exposed. Now it is obvious that she is in Nancy Pelosi's pocket. At the end of the day, the wicked witch of the West, Nancy Pelosi, has won out. She owns AOC and she owns the squad. All of them voted for this, which means they were probably promised something. And she's being called out on it. Mark my words, she does not come back from this. The power that she once was able to wield, the power that she had to push through the ridiculous Green New Deal is gone. I don't see how she gets it back. This video, I think, is evidence of that. If this were a nothing burger, it would have got 100,000 views maybe. But no, we're clocking in the millions. Partly because of Schadenfreude, people just want to see AOC, crash and burn. But I think the flip side of that is this is a real issue, and people are very concerned. And this rush to war and the media completely covering every Democrat and Republican's assets on this, the propaganda that we're getting about the war in Ukraine, well, it's not sitting with the American people. And this was the first real we the people example. We the people pushback on the proxy war going on in Ukraine and Democrats being called out for it. My name is James T. Harris. This is my channel. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. Every time we put up a new video, you'll be notified. Make sure you follow. Check out my merch at jamestharris.com and know that this is an indication that the tide is turning.